from the time the sun comes up in the morning until it sets off in the evening? Is there a single activity which you could take our own time, relax and do comfortably? What is the medical advice? In the morning when you wake up, sit on the bed, keep your feet on the ground, relax for 5 minutes. Why? Right throughout the night your blood circulation had been in an horizontal axis. Rest of the day it got to get used to a vertical axis. They say to facilitate that exercise, sit and relax for 5 minutes. Then the next what they say is, having had a meal, sit and relax for 5 minutes. Why? When your stomach is full, heart keeps on pumping blood to the stomach to facilitate the digesting process. So after a meal, when you stand and run, there's an utter chaos that gets created, which may lead to some serious sicknesses in the future. So they say, having had a meal, sit and relax for 5 minutes. Now, my dear friends, these are the ideal medical advice to be followed, but can we ever do them today? Can we ever do them today? Let the blood jump out of the head. You cannot do it today, isn't it? In the morning, do we wake up from the bed or do we jump out of the bed? Jump out of the bed. Why? Alarm had sounded and we had overslept. Thereafter, each and every activity we do while running. We have the bath while running, bath and the jog both together. We eat running. We dress up running. We put the makeup also while running. That's why sometimes you find the makeup also had ran all over the face, isn't it? You run to the bus stop, run to the vehicle. Some people inside the vehicles also they run when you stop for traffic. Okay. You run to your workstation, you keep on doing your job running and you end up the day also running. Why? Too many things to do and very limited, come on, time. So if you take your life into consideration today, you're on a race. If you take your job into consideration, are you in a race today? With whom? With whom? Your colleagues. Why? Any organization, dear friends, the promotional prospects, are they limited or unlimited? Tell me. Limited. So what happened? Promotional prospects are limited. The benefit package, what you can get is limited. Local foreign training opportunities are limited. So the ones who perform better than the other will always stand a chance. So however much you are closer to your colleagues when it comes to performance, all the time you want to outsmart either him or her, win the hearts of the superiors, and then reach the top. There's nothing wrong in it. Dear friends, certain times when I mention this in organizations, they say, no, Dhammika, we of course don't have that kind of a culture. We work with brotherhood. To this world and today, so the opportunities are limited. So the ones who perform better than the other will always stand a chance. So however much you are closer to your colleagues when it comes to performance, all the time you want to do things better than either him or her. Would you agree? You have to do things better than the others. If you take your organization into consideration, are you in a race today? Yes or no? Yes, because whatever the company that you are representing here, there is a competitor. So all the time you want to do things better than your competitor. You're in a race. Finally, if you take our country, Sri Lanka, as an entity, are we in a race today? Yes or no? With whom? With all the other neighboring countries. So it could be a life, job, division, organization, by and large, the country, all of us today, we are in a race. My question, dear friends, whenever you keep on running a race, in a race, when you go and beat number 2, what is your position? Could you kindly turn to the slide after next, please, quickly? Slide after next. And there is a question there. In a race, when you beat number 2, what's your position? Spot. In a race, when you beat number 2, what's your position? Who can answer me? In a race, when you go and beat number 2, what's your position? Your number, say it louder. Come on, number 1. In a race, when you go and beat number 2, you become number 1. What race is it, dear friends? Look at it. My question is, in a race, when you go and beat number 2, what's your position? Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All what you do is in a race, you go and just beat number 2. When you beat number 2, what's your position? You are still number 2. Now, you have a slide, yeah? Just I told you the slide after, spot the reasons why customers really leave. That's a notes slide. And after that, there is a slide where you ask the question. Spot the easy things first, I say. And in a race, when you go and beat number 2, what's your position? Your number, come on, your number 2. When you beat number 1 only, you become number 1. Now, often I ask this question in my programs. And what is the answer I get? In a race, when you go and beat number 2, what's your position? What is the answer often I get? Come on, number 1. When I ask them, how can that be? They challenge me, how cannot it be? And for some, when I draw, some people don't understand. So then I have to perform it and then show. Get 5 people to the stage, get the number 3 to go and beat number 2, and then I ask, they say, I realize, okay, right, we are number 2. When you beat number 1, only you become number 1. What does it mean? All of us today, we are in a race. Whenever we are running this race, one at a time, we got to take them into task. Until such time you win over the person who is just in front of you, you will never be able to go and win the winner. So one at a time, you got to take them into task. Dear friends, watch. We are going to get into a very important concept. All of us today, we are in a race. Now watch. Whenever you are running a race, the moment you look at the one who is right in the front of the race, and when you realize the fact, distance between that person and you is so great, what happens to you? What happens? What happens? Come on, what happens? Yes, you give up. You're right. What's your feeling? Oh God, he's far away from me. What happened to me? I think the start I made a blunder. Over the last couple of weeks, I couldn't do enough exercises. Therefore, my body has lost the stamina. Over the last few days, I wasn't careful with food. Therefore, my muscles have lost the flexibility. Now, no way how I could win him. No way how I could win him. No way how to win him. And what is the stand you take finally? You better win me. And you want to give up the race and go. Would you agree? Whenever you keep on running a race, the moment you look at the one who is right in the front of the race, psychologically you get a feeling it's a difficult task to be achieved. So the chances are such that you may give up. That when you look at the one who is right in the front of the race. But whenever you are running this race, without looking at the one who is right in the front of the race, if you look at the one who is just in front of you, and the moment you realize the distance between that person and you is so narrow, what happens to you? When you realize the fact that the distance between that person and you is so narrow, what happens to you? You become a kind of a narrow. What is your feeling? Little more, little more, little more. Let me put my best effort and go and win over this person. What happened? When you look at the one who is just in front of you, you got encouraged. When you look at the one who is right in the front of the race, you got discouraged. My dear friends, it could be a life, job, division, organization by and large the country. All of us today, we are in a race. My question, whenever you keep on running this race, whom do you want to be, the winner or the loser? Say it louder. Louder, everybody. Winner. All of us, we are born to this world to win. So we want to be a winner. So if you really want to be a winner, whenever you are running this race, should you get encouraged or should you get discouraged? Encouraged. How would you get encouraged? When you look at the one who is right in the front of the race, or when you look at the one who is just in front of you? Just in front of you. Why is that you get encouraged when you look at the one who is just in front of you and not the one who is right in the front of the race? Why? This distance is, come on, easier for you to run. Okay, every one of you please sit back, please sit back, sit back. Okay, let's have a good blood flow to the brain. Okay, and put your arms down, please, here. Arms, okay. Now, I want every one of you to answer along with me loud. Okay, it could be a life, job, division, organization, by and large the country. All of us. Today we are in a... Oh, God. Now, come on, louder. It could be a life, job, division, organization, by and large the country. All of us. Today we are in a... Not enough, not enough. Come on, energy. It could be a life, job, division, organization, by and large the country. All of us. Today we are in a... Oh, I heard it. Great, race. Whenever you run this race, whom do you want to be, the winner or the loser? Winner. If you really want to be the winner, whenever you are running this race, should you get encouraged or should you get discouraged? Encouraged. How would you get encouraged? When you look at the one who is right in the front of the race, or when you look at the one who is just in front of you? Come on. Just in front of you. Why is that you get encouraged when you look at the one who is just in front of you and not the one who is right in front of the race? Why? The distance is easier for you to run. Therefore, dear friends, what is the learning? Today, if you really want to achieve greatness, let's do the easy things first.